Yet another factor which affects demand is prices of substitute goods and prices of complementary goods. Let us understand them one by one. What do you mean by substitute goods? Goods which are substitute of each other. Goods which are competing with each other for demand. Right? So, examples of substitute goods are sugar and jaggery, tea and coffee, Aqua and Jupiter, moped and bike, petrol and kerosene, the list doesn't end. So what happens in case of substitute goods? So let's say I'll give an example taking tea and coffee. So if the price of tea increases, what happens? For a consumer, the substitute looks very attractive. So price of substitute, in this case, coffee will be very attractive. So if price of tea increases, demand for coffee will increase. If price of tea decreases, demand for coffee will decrease, but demand for tea will increase. What happens in case of substitute goods? If the price for the specific good increases, then its demand will decrease, but demand for substitute will increase, as it looks attractive. And if price of a commodity decreases, then demand for its competitive or substitute good will decrease, but demand for the specific good will increase. So what do I understand in case of substitute goods? Substitute goods create an influence on its substitute. If price of a good increases, demand for its substitute increases. Price of good decreases, demand for its substitute good decreases. Another thing which affects demand is prices of complementary goods. Now, what are complementary goods? Complementary goods are goods which are two or more goods which satisfies the single want. So they go together to satisfy the want. Let's say electricity and AC. Let's say fuel and car, or petrol and car. Another good example will be mobile and SIM card. So what happens in case of complementary goods? If price of one commodity increases, it reduces the demand for its complementary good. Example, if price of fuel increases, or let's say price of petrol increases, then demand for petrol card will decrease. So there is an inverse relation in complementary good. So what happens? If price increases for a fuel, demand for the petrol card will reduce. Or let's say there's a decrease in the price of an AC, then there will be high consumption of electricity due to AC. So if you notice, in case of complementary good, if price of one commodity increases or decreases, it affects the demand of the other commodity in negative way. Another nice example to explain this effect in complementary goods is mobiles and SIM cards. So what happens? If price of mobiles increases, the demand for SIM card will decrease. Because people will demand less mobiles, and therefore the demand for SIM card will automatically decrease. But if the price of mobile reduces, then the demand for SIM cards will increase. Why? Because as the price of mobile phone decreases, demand for mobile phone will increase. Naturally, it will increase the demand for SIM cards. And hence, there is an inverse relation between complementary goods. If price increases, then demand decreases for complementary good. If price decreases, demand increases for complementary goods.